went outside of the room just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm starting the recording. Okay, we can go.
Can you all see my screen now?
No, I can't see it.
Okay.
No.
Moment, please.
Yeah. Annie, do you want me?
Oh, finally. Yeah, sorry for waiting. Okay, and first of all, I will show you, because the speakers, two speakers, myself, I'm Annie Shi, and I'm from Oxford, and also my business partner, Connie Look, and she is from Cambridge. And both of us, we are originally Chinese. So, and I will tell you some traditional Chinese culture at first about the technicist, okay, right? Because today we wear, you see, what's the color? Can anyone tell me what's the color of my wearing?
It looks like a light blue, isn't it? Light
yeah, I mean blue, right? So blue collar, yeah. In China, yeah. So I think it's a old school name. Yes, it's a Lanling, means blue collar, means they take workers will wear blue collars, right? So then blue collar means take workers. So today, and we are speakers of investments from China to the UK digital and technology market. So we will talk about this topic. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to our today's meetup. And we will try to talk you through this topic, investments from China to the UK digital and tech market. First, let's have a look about some jokes about digital and tech. The first one, who led the digital transformation of your company? So it's COVID-19, right? Yeah. Yeah. And the second, maybe if we tell people the brand is an app, this because some people, they don't use their brand. they only use apps. So if you tell people and your brands, there are apps, so they will start to use their brand because it's an app, right? Yeah.
That was yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And also from a job interviewer at the start, and he told the interviewee, at the start, you will be earning £20,000, and later that will increase to 40,000. And then, okay, the interviewee will say, okay, I'll come back later, right? Okay, and there's another one, okay, from the dad. So we'll let you to marry a girl of my choice. And son said, no. And dad said, the girl is Bill Gates' daughter. And the son said, then okay. Yeah, and dad goes to Bill Gates. Dad said, I want your daughter to marry my son. And Bill Gates said, of course, say no. And dad said, my son is the CEO of the World Bank. And Bill Gates might say, then okay. And that goes to the president of the World Bank. And that said, appoint my son as the CEO of your bank. President, of course, will say no, because this is impossible, right? In his mind. But that said, he's the son-in-law of Bill Gates. And president will say, then okay, this is a joke. So this is a business. Okay, I still remembered I give a thumbs up to this the right joke in 2014, the October. Okay, yeah, that okay. So do you want to have good business? Okay, so let's have a look about the next one. Okay. Oh, there's also okay, something from this the internet, this website called staircat.com, and this is for best memes, GIFs, and funny pitches online. And they also allow the guests to have comments on their website. So there are 2 comments from the guests. First, all the memes on this website are stupid. Do you know how much brain power people use a day just to type this? I used at least 5%. It's stupid. You would post something like this. Shut up and do some research next time. And also the other one said, shut up, Boomer. Okay, so we can see from, okay, it's about the you know, this joke we mentioned about just now, right? Yeah, from our last slide. So why the guests could say these comments? Because the website gave them this right? But we can have an example of Chinese WeChat, also social media, very popular in China now. So if you would give the comments on the WeChat group, you could, because everyone would could see your pictures, I mean, your photos on site. So you can only give the very good comments, and you can only give the good comments, but the rare the bad comments. So are you agree that, Connie?
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah, so,
it's more like a personal blog at the moment, so it shows to everybody what is your view, or your, you know, how was your day today. So yeah.
yeah, so this is, I think, a very good function of our WeChat social media group. Okay, so let's take you. Let me take you go through the context of today's meetup today's meetup at first. And first of all, we'll mention about what are the digital and tech industries. And then the Internet of Things, IoT, which is very popular these days. It seems that everything would use the Internet of Things now. And the next one is China overseas investments in digital and tech market. 3 things, 3 elements within China, global, and some statistics. Then China investment strategy in emerging technologies, the M, and also strategy. Also key industries opportunities for UK businesses. We'll mention fintech, medtech, and adtech, which we are trying to do now, and also transport and tech ecosystem. Then key China's digital and tech market outlook. Then the impact of the pandemic on Chinese investments. This is also very serious, right? On last year. And the last one is consideration for UK digital and tech businesses. Okay, let's start. First of all, so what are digital and tech industries? Okay, I'll give you some examples. There are lots of emerging technologies now, and it seems that they all need to use computers, IDs these days. So are you agree with me, Connie?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Have
are
to.
they? Yeah, so are all the technologies we must or have to use computers, IDs these days? For example, the definition of some emerging technologies. For example, fintech. The definition of it is computer programs and other technology used to support or enable banking and financial services. I'm sure you always use that, right? And also medtech, because it's called medical technology, and it encompasses a wide range of healthcare products and is used to treat diseases and medical conditions affecting humans. Such technologies are intended to improve the quality of healthcare. So I think during the pandemic and also later on, we will use a lot of them. And also, it's about the EdTech. So the EdTech, okay, I forgot to mention that because of the pandemic, and you know, we are the leading company of the education support in Oxford. So because of the pandemic, we have to use the computer to teach our students and also give services to our clients now. And now we are trying to use the EdTech. So what is the EdTech? It's called education technology, and it is the use of technological apps, tools, or services to improve learning. So this is which we are going to train our own employees as well. And the last one I want to mention today is the tech ecosystem. So tech ecosystem are the product platforms defined by the core components made by the platform owner, and also they use other companies then to solve important technical problems with an industry. So, and also we will mention about transport technology these days, because the transport of course is, for example, the artificial intelligence in cars, and also the in cars powers, and also e-bikes. So Connie, can you mention some about you know something about the AI in cars powers? Do you know any example of that about the transport technology used in these days at the present? Okay, you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I didn't realize. Yeah, I will talk them through later in my talk. So it's covered in there, right?
Yeah. So what I know, I think is from the Shanghai Fair. It's about the AI using the AI technology used in the car, and the car is designed by the company of Marx, right, Connie? Marx. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it brings a lot of car powers to China as well. But the technology is still need to be improved, I think, because there are lots of not very good news in China now. So let's have a look about the next slide. Okay, this is the I think it's a little bit familiar with me about the Internet of Things, because I also received some posts today. So it's the new applications for the Internet of Things. As I mentioned just now, many technology and the digital market in the world now, they are using the Internet of Things, and it's called IoT these days, the short of the Internet of Things. And it connects devices and human value together. So from what I put here on the slide, you can see the first one, device connection, and it needs LOT devices, and then it would have the data sensing, then the communication between the device and also then with other, because for example, data analysis and also human value and apps, then it will give human the experiences of experiencing this Internet of Things technology. Okay, I also have some examples on my hand to show you. So for example, this is from China. Okay, and yeah, okay, because I think others, except Connie, you are showing your face, and others, they are not showing their face. So I will ask you some questions, okay? Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
So Connie,
Yeah.
so if this kind of parcel by air, how many days do you think they would need?
I think at least
From
8
China,
days.
from China.
8 days, yeah. 7 or 8 days.
Only 8 days? Really?
Yeah, it's
Are you sure?
possible. Yeah.
So by air, 8 days. But you know, this is from Winsha of China, and you know, they only need 5 to 10 working days, and sometimes it's only need 4 days.
We take the professional
4
development
days.
of our staff very seriously too.
Yeah.
After all, they're co-owners in our business, and for the very outset.
This is the other parcel from them. Okay. Because they have the general parcels and also the other line for the electronic things, and the electronic things needs more time because they need sometimes in the customs and also, but the very general the parcel, they only need 4 to 5 working days. Nearly, I think this time only 5 days to not the working days, 5 days to UK, to Oxford, actually. So very quick. And you can see the rapid development of the Internet of Things now. This is from China to the UK. Okay. And then the other very attractive example is from Huawei ICT Academy. So Huawei, what is the Huawei ICT Academy? You can see the academy, so it's about our education thing, right? So it is a certificate and also it's a training program. It gives you the course and also the online experience about the Huawei ICT competition. So the Huawei ICT competition will be held every year, and they would have more than 1,500 members to attend the ICT competition every year. So you can, if you are interested in, you can contact us later, or you can go to their website to have a look. And the other one from to the right is Winsha. This is the transport, the IoT of this one. Okay. Yeah. And okay, this is go to Crowdo. So this is about Agile and its branches. I put this model here, but actually I'm not very familiar with the meaning of that. So I'll ask Crowdo to teach me more later. And also the next one is about the Lean principles and its supply chains, Agile and the Lean. I know about these principles because they are quite simple to me. But if we will use them to our programs, I think I also still need many helps from Crowdo and his platform. Okay. Okay, I will go to ask you questions later. Thank you. Okay, and now I'm going to hand over this China overseas investments in digital and tech market to my colleague, Connie. Okay, Connie.
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Gosh, where are you?
Yeah.
I can't.
So this slide, China overseas investments.
All right. Okay. Shall I share my screen so I can then
Yeah,
monitor?
I'll stop share now.
Share the screen. Can you see the screen now?
Yeah, but you need to make it bigger.
Is that still not big enough?
Please press the little mark just on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah. Is that okay now?
So everyone's okay? Carlo, are you okay for that?
Are you?
And Connie, is too small. We cannot read.
Oh,
Can you go to presentation mode?
Yeah, you have to go in presentation mode.
let's have a look.
It's right corner at the bottom.
Yeah, I did.
Not this one.
You can see on the right bottom and 那里有一个像幻灯片一样的一个东西，你
There
点一
is
下
a
那个
small screen icon.
Yeah,
就是最
glorify
下面。
Yeah, sure.
So the just now one, yeah, this one. Just
Is
no. Back to it. Before 117%. Before 117%. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Hang on. Okay, so I need to, let me see.
You need to go back a little bit.
Can you see that then?
Yeah.
Is that
It's big
enough?
enough. Yeah, it's big enough.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's start then. Okay, so I'll give you a very quick introduction about myself. I'm not an IT and techie person at all. And I've been working in the finance industry for over 20 years. I started from the Big Four, trained as a qualified chartered accountant, and then been working with the various different, quite a big co-op for many, many years, from financial controller, finance director. And then very kindly, Annie invited me to join her talk to show some of the business side of this digital and the tech market in UK. So I'm very pleased I'm here meeting all of you. So I think my first topic would be the overseas investment in digital and the tech market by China. So we could have a look at the historical growth and the trend showing from these statistics to be able to really fully appreciate how fast that's been developing in this market, right? So yeah, why is that the world's appetite for new technologies is increasing? China is determined to take advantage of this demand and to become a leading global technology market, which China's tech landscape has grown rapidly in a short space of time, with its digital economy now accounting for about 30% of its GDP, which is more than doubled since 2008. As Chinese businesses and consumers embrace technologies such as the Internet of Things that Annie just talked about very briefly earlier, big data, and artificial intelligence, the government is also investing significantly in new technologies to boost China's global position in the science and technology innovation. Now, according to the data, Chinese companies have ramped up their investment over the last 9 years. And we can see from the chart below, just to show how the number of deals have grown over time and how the total value of the deals have soared during the period. The first chart on the left, it shows the total deal value involving Chinese digital and tech investment from 2011 to 2019. Over the 9 years, the total value of the tech investment involving Chinese cash has grown from 280 billion to 21.6 billion at a compound annual growth rate of 67.5%, which is shockingly high. And the data shows that as technology investment have grown larger over the past 9 years, Chinese capital has increasingly been involved in the largest tech deals. that we can see from the second chart on the right. It gives the number of the Chinese digital and tech deals in the UK. Between 2015 and 2019, the UK has been the most popular destination for Chinese tech investment in Europe. From 2010, the Prime Minister David Cameron was really keen to promote a golden era of trade and investment between the UK and China. And since he stepped down in 2016, and the policy and the growth has never stopped, and the number of the investment has continued to grow. And they include investment in the gene sequencing company like Oxford Nanopore by China Construction Bank International, while Chinese tech giant Tencent Holdings has invested in several UK startups, including Everledger and Sunset. Then we move on to the next chart. Is sorry, let me just see the next chart. Yeah, the third chart shows the number of the overseas Chinese digital and tech investment globally. Between 2011 and 2019, the total number of deals involving Chinese investment has exploded by 6,000% at a compound annual growth rate of 58%. While the decrease in deal volume was slight between 2018 and 19, and there were signs that this downward trajectory may yet continue, countries around the world have been clamping down on overseas tech investment. In the US, including China, Russia, and Israel, various governments are expanding their powers and to maintain tighter control over their domestic technology spheres because of the perceived threat of foreign influence and the fear of rival nations siphoning of intellectual property via investment. This is just to give you kind of a general feeling about what is the overall current environment, especially with the political and economical, that really kind of give the threat to the Chinese investment in the overseas. With the UK tech firms, they have historically been more at the risk to foreign takeovers. And however, the UK's long-running Huawei saga, which ultimately saw the company banned from the country's 5G network, brought to light a growing sense of unease in government about China's role in UK business. And buoyed by their victory in banning Huawei, MPs with concerns about China have voiced concerns about the level of investment across the country. Then having known this, we need to look at the investment in the emerging technologies in China. A key driver behind the Chinese rapidly growing tech sector is the government, which has made it a priority to become a leading global technological superpower by 2050. In 2015, it outlined the Made in China 2025 strategy, a national 10-year plan to develop Chinese high-tech manufacturing, such as IT and robotics. This aims to accelerate China's transition from low value-added manufacturing towards an innovation-based economy. The Chinese government also plans to invest over $400 billion in upgrading telecommunication infrastructure for 5G between 2020 and 2030. This will further enable technological innovation across the country, increasing the reach and capabilities of systems such as smart cities and IoT. Chinese government has promoted the development of emerging technologies through a supportive policy environment, establishing large-scale funding of research and attractive incentives for tech entrepreneurs. 1 in 3 of the world's unicorn companies are now Chinese. The country also accounts for 50% of the global digital payments and 3/4 of the global online lending market. China now has the second largest AI market after the US, and it's predicted that the AI technologies could contribute a 26% of boost to GDP by 2030. Part of China's AI success is also down to its vast population, which enables companies to gather and harness huge amounts of the data. China's rapid adoption of AI and data-driven technologies is now a major growth driver. For some sectors and applications, the opportunities are emerging for closer UK-China collaboration, leveraging the UK's deep expertise in this area. The UK's AI unicorns have all now launched in China to have their presence. Now, investment in the R&D is another big part of the push towards making China a global leader in science and technology. Just say in 2019, China spent $300 billion, which is almost 2.2% of its GDP, on R&D, and putting it second only to the US. And in fact, China now accounts for around 20% of the world's total R&D expenditure. It is also falling behind the US as the biggest publisher of science research papers. That is a very clear indication of its R&D ambition. And moreover, China is a world leader in automation, and as of 2019, had the world's biggest industrial robot market. However, the industry has faced recent difficulties, and due to factors such as economic and structural changes, global competition, and the US-China trade war. The improvements in the science and technology performance have been underpinned by significant strides in science and engineering education. China is now the world's #1 producer of undergraduates with science and engineering degrees, delivering almost 25% of the first university degrees in science and engineering globally. Since 2007, the country has awarded more PhD degrees in natural sciences and engineering than any other countries in the world. So having known this, all these different industries and that China has been developing, then we need to understand what are the key industries opportunities for the UK businesses. Industries in China are at varying rates of digitalization, and it's important for UK businesses to understand the tech landscape of different sectors before we actually start thinking of entering into the Chinese market. So one area which was seeing a huge growth in the recent year is a fintech. Now, this trend has been propelled forward by a tech-savvy younger generation. The move towards a cashless society and the demand for services often not provided by big state-owned banks, such as easily accessible finance plans for small businesses and individuals. Fintech investments in China increased by 252% from 2010 to 2016. By which time the value of China's mobile payments by individuals totaled $790 billion, which is 11 times more than the US. Apart from the fintech, medtech is also on the rise, and an important area of collaboration between China and the UK. The Chinese government made medtech a priority in its 13th five-year plan, encouraging investment in areas such as surgical robots, genomics, telehealth, AI-based diagnostics, wearables, and R&D, into disease and cures. With an aging population, a lot of this research is going into degenerative illnesses and elderly care. Alongside of these, the fintech, medtech, there's also a huge growth in the edtech sector. And unbalanced allocation of resources and a huge internet penetration has driven demand for online education. And the Chinese government sees education technology as one of the major tools to drive the industry forward. Now, the COVID-19 has only accelerated the demand for the edtech. Then the other area we could think of is transport. It has developed significantly in recent years, and China's electric vehicle market is now the biggest in the world. In 2019, China had a total of 3.3 million plug-in electric vehicles. And the country plans for all vehicles across the country to be electric by 2030, which is just 9 years later, which will greatly help China with its recently announced plan to go carbon neutral by 2060. China is also making waves in the development of autonomous vehicles. In 2019, Beijing saw 77 autonomous vehicles from 13 China-based companies, drive a combined total of 1.04 million kilometers. Now, given that China has already made significant strides in creating the world's biggest and the most formidable tech ecosystem, with their pace of innovation and growth showing little sign of stopping, the levels of the investment currently being channeled into physical and digital infrastructure, the pillars of a strong tech sector, are unlike anything we have witnessed in Europe. The country is also focusing on regeneration projects that are transforming entire districts into innovation hubs that are helping to accelerate the growth of tech startups. Well, generally speaking, city-based industries such as retail, finance, and transport have seen faster rates of the digitalization than more traditional rural industries such as agriculture. Smart cities are a particularly big focus for China, and their capabilities will only be increased by emerging technologies such as 5G and AI. And the new urbanization is one of the key parts of China's development plans, which focus on creating smart and low carbon cities. Big cities such as Beijing and Shanghai now have a smart ID cards and systems, such as Shanghai's Citizen Cloud. While this gives the citizen greater connectivity and easy access to information, there are also some major concerns from international governments about these systems, which I'm sure every government would be quite cautious about developing the AI system and its application into the general life living. So these concerns include China's use of the facial recognition and the predictive computer algorithm, mass surveillance and the racial profiling, internet and the media surveillance and the censorship, and the highly controversial plan to use the technology to monitor citizens with the social credit system. Facial recognition technologies have also been a focus of concern over civilians and citizens' rights. There remain challenges in terms of the IP infringement and enforcement in China. Although continued strengthening of China's IP laws is making it easier for foreign companies to address those IP issues. So that's about this, the key industries opportunities for the UK businesses, where China is developing very fast at the moment. Now we'll have a look the China's digital and tech market at the outlook. So what's their strategy, their plan? So China recently set out the core direction of the forthcoming 14th, in the 14th fifth five-year plan, which will drive China's economic development from 2021 to 2025. Tech and innovation have been singled out as being central to this strategy, with a particular focus on achieving national self-reliance through increased research and development. This emphasis on technology and innovation is likely to create a range of opportunities for UK tech exporters to fill innovation gaps within increasingly sophisticated supply chains. Now, if we think, with the population of more than 1.4 billion, over 100 cities of more than 1 million people, and 900 million citizens with access to the internet, the potential for the tech sector is huge, and it presents a big opportunity for foreign tech companies. With important trade links across the whole of Asia, China is certainly as a very key market to crack for any business with a global ambition. But given the current economic situation where we are now, with this whole pandemic and this caused by the COVID, so we need to understand, will the pandemic trigger any drop in the Chinese investment? As with the rest of the world, coronavirus crisis has dramatically transformed the consumer behavior and the business practices, which has fueled the demand for certain technologies. Now, for example, sales of the computers and electronic devices have boomed in China with a year-to-date profit increase of 35%. And those e-commerce platforms have also seen a huge surge in demand as consumers shop from home now. So China is a home to the world's largest retailer and e-commerce company, Alibaba, so which is also the fifth largest AI company in the world as of 2020. With the increasing tensions in the US and the China relationship, and effective sanctions have significantly damaged the international growth prospects of many of China's leading tech firms. And this decoupling process may create long-term challenges for some UK tech businesses with close links to US supply chains, customers, or investors. So in June 20, the UK government announced that it would increase foreign investment controls for artificial intelligence, cryptography, and advanced materials. These measures have been put in place to prevent Chinese companies from taking advantage of the coronavirus crisis to buy controlling interest in the struggling companies. But then, nevertheless, we have to think about what are the options for UK businesses, despite the political rivalry situation. Now, the consideration for the UK business. For many tech startups, foreign investment is often essential for survival. During the pandemic, struggling companies will be more eager than ever to secure investment to stay afloat. The country from where the investment is originated is unlikely to be of major concern. Alongside of the dominant force that is Silicon Valley, both the UK and China have a leading role to play in the global tech, and working closer with one another will open up new business opportunities. Whilst China has the capital to invest and spur rapid growth, there is an active role the UK can play in China's tech rise. Chinese startups recognize the need to engage with the UK's established tech sector if they are to successfully move into European markets. Collaborations with British businesses can offer fresh thinking, creativity, and a strong sense of entrepreneurship that Chinese tech companies are willing to learn from. China's tech companies have a strong opinion of UK tech, particularly our ability to link businesses and academia to create innovative commercial opportunities. This is also acknowledgement of the digital transformation that is being embraced across the UK economy. Scaling tech firms are building strong ties with the traditional industries and playing an active role across the digitalization of the economy. Now, in equal measure, China's ascendance as a dominant tech hub offers a great opportunity for the UK's community of entrepreneurs who are looking for and to shape their ideas into the tech powerhouses of tomorrow. It is key to acknowledge that despite the great success stories, UK tech companies have struggled to achieve the unicorn status on the same level as those in China and the US, often limited by the depth of the funding and the size of the market. So receiving investment from China would present significant opportunities for UK digital and the tech businesses to grow and to improve their reach and expertise. And but there are certain challenges to be aware of. We need to think of, so we certainly, businesses in UK, we need to get a specialist advice on the legal, commercial, ethical risks while engaging with the Chinese entities. Alongside of the business strategy, a UK entities also needs to get the cultural and the language readiness in engaging with the Chinese market. Now, this is more like it can be evidenced by the recent years, as you can see, many of the UK schools, including there's private schools, boarding schools, they start introducing this Chinese education as one of their GCSE subjects or A-level subjects. Any UK company looking to set up in China should seek appropriate legal advice and perform the due diligence to ensure both their employees and the products are protected. Now, you can look at the organizations such as A Brand Culture Limited, and that's where Annie works for. And the crayfish.io, that's the one of the companies that I'm still as a FD, working for them. And both of those businesses, they provide you the necessary information and with the business bridging services, educational platform to enable the business to enter into the Chinese market, help you to find your working partners or set up your presence in China, or even to source some materials and so on. And or indeed provide some professional education on the languages and the cultures, and enable you to understand how to engage into the business dealings with the Chinese businesses. Of course, the UK government also has created a digital and tech China website to offer relevant advice. So I think that's a very kind of a quick talk, just to go, talk you through about how this Chinese overseas investment have been developing in the past 9 to 10 years, and what is the current difficult and challenging situations, and the coupling with this COVID-19, and what is the outlook, given that the Chinese strategy and policy that is promoting a huge great opportunities for the UK business entrepreneurs. And so indeed, I think for any of the business decision makers, and certainly it's worth of thinking whether you want to engage into the Chinese business, and how you could get yourself ready, to step forward to try to grab that opportunity. So do you, I think as just a pause here, is there any questions that comes through? Otherwise, I'll hand it over to Annie.
Yeah. So to sum up, so the future companies after the pandemic, and the future companies would be progressive organizations with innovative cultures in the future, right? So, and the next part of our meetup, because we are a meetup, and before Connie and me change the share screen, so can I ask you, and all of you have a pen and also a paper, then we'll ask you to think about, if you are academy president, then which, so because we are doing business now, right? So which one, like which technology, for example, fintech, which is the financial technology, and medtech, which is the medical technology, and edtech means educational technology, and also transportation technology, and take ecosystem, and also city-based industries. Which one do you want to invest? And please also tell us why.
Okay. Not saying investor, not saying investor. Perhaps
okay.
Maybe it's
to
more
put
like
your
the
money. To put the money.
Where, yeah, which industry you are quite keen to get money to develop your business.
Okay, so then please use your pen and pencil to write on your paper, and we'll give you 1 minute, and please tell us why as well. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, if you write it down, Annie will give you the investment funding.
Yeah, probably in the future. Yeah, when I find the investors, right, from China.
Yeah, we're going to find the rich people to invest in your business.
Yeah, right people to do right things, right? Okay, so I will share the screen now. And Connie, yeah, during this 1 minute, can you stop sharing, and I will let me to share the screen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Back to you, Annie.
Thank you much. 1 minute, right? 50 seconds. 50 seconds again.
Sorry, but actually I'm not writing anything because I'm not in the position to invest anything actually. So it's nothing personal, but it's me.
30, I think 30 seconds left. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, let's count. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's start. Can I start from Connie? Yeah, can I ask Connie? And the next one would be Crowder. But Crowder said, okay, he will invest. Okay, he will only.
I cannot. It's not that I don't want. It's that I cannot actually. Okay. But however, if you ask me what will be eventually, I can provide a response. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Annie was
you are interested in. Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. Okay, I have my response.
How about Connie?
I think yeah, fintech. I think that would be the industry I'm hugely interested. And I know actually Chinese is now developing their own digital currency. But that is I don't have much kind of understanding into that yet. Apart from this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and there are many more digital currencies coming through. But China is currently inventing their own digital currency, so it's worth of looking over in now. So yeah, but yeah, fintech is certainly because I think at the moment now I started using this Google Pay. A lot of people use the Apple Pay, and it's all advanced technology, right? Which we never thought about or expected 10 years ago, which is really great. I don't need to bring my wallet into a supermarket. It's fantastic, which makes me think. I said, well, actually, the last time the wallet I got that as a gift, that is quite expensive. Christmas gift, like a few £100. I said, well, given that I don't even need to take a wallet anywhere, and the wear and the tear of the wallet is certainly reduced, and that it will reduce the demand, for buying the wallet as just a direct impact of this digital kind of payment system. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Connie. And how about the others? Can I ask Peter?
I'm not in a position to invest either because I'm currently looking for a new opportunity myself.
Yeah.
No, Peter.
Okay.
Peter,
So,
I think what Annie was saying is actually rather than you to invest, which I think the topic here is really to try to understand what are the opportunities that is open, is being currently open to UK businesses. And I think Annie was trying to ask which industries will you be particularly interested to get the investment to?
yes.
Okay, well, I wouldn't know particularly as because I'm looking for an opportunity to work. So wherever I get to work, maybe will be the answer.
What's your area? So what's your original area?
Software development.
Software engineer. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly, I think with more opportunities, we can more investment we can receive from Chinese market, and they'll bring more opportunities for jobs for everything, right?
Yeah. So you can try to contact the Huawei company in Reading, very close to very close to Oxford, and between Oxford and London. So Huawei is a very open company for, I think they would welcome any software engineers to try your opportunities there.
Okay, I'll have a look and see if they're advertising then. Yeah.
Very, very, very good career prospect, Huawei. Yes.
Okay.
Very, very good. I think that there's a staff benefit.
Are they currently recruiting?
Because Huawei, they also have this academy, and they asked the University of Reading to have the cooperation with them about the ICT competition, and also the academy and the training course, the training program, and the University of Reading, they asked us to tell you, I mean, to introduce the course, the program to you.
Okay.
Yeah, to our clients actually. And how about can I ask the two ladies here, right? Yeah. So can you say something about this topic?
If I had to choose, I'll go for fintech as well. But I might be biased because I'm working in finance at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. So and in the future, for example, about 10 years or 20 years later or 30 years later, so which one will you be mostly interested in?
30 years. Oh,
yeah.
If
about
I'm
30
still
years
alive.
later.
If I'm still here.
I think you have to ask me in 30 years to answer.
30 years is very quick right now.
Oh my gosh. No. Yeah, maybe 10 years is probably
10
more
years,
feasible.
yeah, 10 years is more possible. So how about 10 years later, and which area would you be interested in mostly?
I think with the whole COVID situation, we learned that it's not so easy to predict. So for me right now, even 1 year is not safe enough.
That is true. I agree with you. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very uncertain, isn't it? Still, we are not completely out of this whole pandemic. We don't know what's the immediate future looking like, especially this winter time. What is going to happen? Which is you know.
We have no idea, but we knew that. So within 1 year, I think less than 1 year, and Oxford, University of Oxford, and also Cambridge, the biotech company, they did the vaccines together and saved a lot of people in the UK, right? So I think this is a very good future for the medtech area as well. And also the other technology and digital areas too. Yeah. Because as Connie said, the investments businesses, they are quite important. The economics quite important, but the digital and the technologies are more and more important. According to the government website, they are more and more important to our future lives, right? And yeah.
Connie, sorry,
yeah.
I might just remind you. Do you want to go through the rest of the slides because the time is running out?
Okay. And yeah, so we will leave this question to you later as well. My next question would be, okay, how to sort language and culture problems in future business. As we can see from this model, when the different cultures they meet together, and we will have misunderstandings and also wrong behaviors sometimes would affect our businesses. And if we have this language and specifically culture misunderstanding, and also in the global market, and what shall we do in the future? This is a question. And these are the news and actually the events we done before the COVID-19. And in London, and this is the Brazil's capital, Sao Paulo, and also the Cambridge, so which we can see, and on the photo we can see the mayor of Cambridge, and he was asking what we are doing, and also how to help the industry in the Cambridge to be developed in the future as well. And also these are events we have already done in the past 7 years. So you can see normally we will organize the events face-to-face to our clients. And these clients are from different ages, from very little one, and to the adults clients. But these days we can't do these events eventually because we have a limit from the lockdowns. And how to be a professional, engaged organization or business owner. And you can see from the education and communities, this website is about the intercultural communicator. If we can be very professional intercultural communicators in the future, and they are very helpful for your owner, for you to be the owner of the business in the future. Okay, and this is the contact. These are the contact information of myself and also Connie, my colleague, my business partner here. And if you have any questions, and do not hesitate to, and very welcome to ask us later on. Okay, so I will hand this over to Claudio again.
Thank you, Annie and Connie. Are there some questions? Peter, Jerome?
Not for me.
Thank you, Peter. But actually, I have a quick question, not really complicated. I mean, what are, or if there are some particular investment coming from China after the pandemic? I mean, for example, in Europe, you know, there are some specific program to increase capabilities of the countries in, for example, green or IT digitalization of the public companies or something like that. How is the situation in China? I mean, are there also some programs that are specifically focused on some technologies and international investments, or it's like before?
So Connie,
you
go first, please.
And I think with the investment, really, UK business, you need to express your interest. You want to look for these investors first, because at the moment, what the situation could be in China, there are, many kind of millionaires or billionaires, or they have a really wealthy businesses. They want to invest, whereas in UK, we have those startups businesses. They need funding to enable them to invest in their research and development, and so. But there is no kind of a middle person to help them to merge together. And so, and I think an organization like a Crayfish, which they are specialized in doing this, is merging the two market and business and the one demand and the supply together. And so you really need to go through the agent like a Crayfish to express your interest, your requirement. So what you want to achieve, what investment you are seeking for, and in what kind of a market, what is the product you are looking into. And so then the agent, they are specialized in matching, analyzing your business profile. And then they will then go to China to search for those relevant investors. And then to bring you, bridge you together, you could start talk. And so, so I think that's the way, how the two business, the two different markets could start emerging. You could find some of the advisory information from the government side, but then of course they are not very detailed and specific, not kind of tailored to your business. It's very kind of on the general term and standard term. So yes, so I think best the starting point is looking or finding this agent.
But do you have some example that you can share, something that happened in the last couple of years of companies that you facilitate in connecting with investors in China?
Yeah, well, with the Crayfish, I would say, okay, I was the full-time, no, actually I was the consultant. I was working for a Cambridge-based, if you know, is a CEG, the Cambridge Educational Group. And so they sold about 60% of the operations 2 years ago to Chinese investors, a bright scholar. And that was, I think it was 17 million pounds or so. Oh, sorry, not 7. 150 million pounds, yeah. So they actually, the business, their approach to this media company, although it wasn't facilitated by Crayfish itself, but they're both then engaging with this media company, and then I put them into if the business wants to sell or wants to get investor, they put you create your profile with this agent, a media company. And then this media company then is like they are more like acting as a platform, and they then go to attract those Chinese investors. They come over, they send submit the bid, and then you have these interviews with the different investors. They say, okay, which one you like to take as more serious and look into. You need to produce a lot of detail of the business portfolio, your products and everything. And so in the end, you have this kind of 3 or 4 different rounds in assessing different investors you want to take on. And so so that's the whole process. Of course, it depends on the scale and the size of the business operations in UK. Now with the CEG, it's a massive global company, given that they were selling 60%. So the whole business transaction, the disposal of the business took about, I think, 9 or 10 months. And we had all the very detailed business due diligence review and tax and legal side in a very kind of a detailed. And
this is for a 150 million business, correct?
Yeah.
And have you also some experience with something, let me say, 20-40 million pounds business?
Yeah, Crayfish has this client portfolio, but I think we need to look into the detail. I wouldn't want to give you just a kind of a quote now. So if anyone you know, or maybe your business, your future or employer, whoever, they are interested, and feel free to come to contact me, and I could put you, into this into the right direction. We could start looking into it for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Yeah. So, and also, okay, now I stop my sharing. And also, we could see some very attractive companies, which the OFO, the yellow bike. They come last, I think, 3 or 2 years ago, and then they focusing on to design this, the shared charging now, shared charging. So I will show you what is that.
Like the Santander bikes, isn't it?
The bank of is a power bank.
Yeah.
So this is just to give you an example, because this is they asked us to show. After the pandemic. So like that. For example, they put this kind of yeah. How do you call this, Connie?
What is it?
充电宝.
It's a power bank.
It's a battery.
Yeah.
Yeah, power bank.
Power bank, yes. So they put this power bank inside.
Yeah.
Okay. So they this way. And then when they want to, when the clients, for example, in a restaurant.
We can't see your.
Okay. You can't see, right?
Okay.
So, like this size. Like
it's
this
an array
size.
of power bank charger.
Yeah. Yes. And this has 6 holes for the power bank, for the power banks. And when the clients they want to charge their phone, and I think I have another example. Yes, here, because this insert I can't make them out. Just when I use apps, then I can make them out. And they have then the clients could use the different heads of this power bank. And when they want to take it, they can take as well as the OFO yellow bike. And they only need to download the app, and then they can use this everywhere if they have this machine. And also, it has 6 holes for the power bank, but they only would put 5 inside in each machine. Then the other one left for the clients to return this power bank everywhere. And this is very popular in China now. And this company, this technology company, they are trying to make sure from Oxford, and this machine would be also popular from Oxford to all around in the UK. And they also tried hard to work to run this in different countries in the world too. This is another example of the technology development in the world in the future.
Okay, that's a great example, Annie. I think that if there are no questions, I think that we have to close the session.
Okay, thank you for your meetup, and we feel very enjoyable in that.
Yeah, you are very welcome, Annie, and also Connie. I think this presentation was interesting for the content. I will put the recording on the meetup on the YouTube channel. Okay, so you can have a look on that. So it's a very particular presentation.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing this.
Thank you, Corrado. Thanks for
Thank you.
organizing.
Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yes.
Bye bye.
You too.
Thank you,
Bye.
Peter. Good
Bye
luck.
bye.
Good luck
See
for
you next
sure, Peter.
meetup. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.